We are less than 7 months. I'm trying to make it sound good. Less than 7 months until the kickoff of Clemson and their 2025 football season. But what is the most expensive ticket for a Clemson game right now? It is something I'm going to talk about in just a second. First, welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're here. Glad everyone is watching. If you're new to the channel, you like talking college football, whether it's football season or not. I'm not counting NFL. I'm talking about real football, college football. I hope you'll subscribe. Remember, it is free. I do appreciate it. So, if you're like me, you're sitting here thinking about college football season, and then you start to get semi-depressed because college football season is still 7 months out. I know there's the whole signing day coming up and spring game and blah, 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 but you know what I mean. So I got to thinking, what is the most expensive ticket for this upcoming season? Okay, I kind of lied there and didn't really mean to be dishonest. I actually was looking at next season, Clemson's football season, home and away, and I was figuring out what games I would like to try to make. And there was one game that jumped out at me, punched me between the eyes, and I was like, you're kidding me. I mean, once I say it, you're going to be like, well, come on, man. But. It's interesting considering this school has been struggling over the past few years, even though they had talent. But we all know, as soon as I say it, you're going to go, well, you know why? Of course. The most expensive ticket to a Clemson game, home or away, is not LSU. It's close. As of right now, it's second. It's not South Carolina. It's not Florida State on November the 8th. That rhymed, and I didn't plan that. But I should just take credit for it. It is Clemson at North Carolina. That is the most expensive ticket to see a Clemson game this year. Home or away, boom. And we know why. Bill Belichick. Belichick comes in. I mean, it's like clickbait. Oh, it's clickbait. Bill Belichick goes to North Carolina. Nice try. And then he becomes their head coach. I know it doesn't make sense. I still keep waiting for someone from the NFL to come along and say, all right. Come on up here and coach wherever. But it hasn't happened yet. It looks like Bill Belichick will be the head coach. Okay, he already is, but actually coach this coming 2025 season. And that is the reason that as of right now, if you go on ESPN, you look to the right to where it says tickets, and I'm going to prove this to you. I'm not just going to, you're like, hey, he may be lying to me. A dude's not going to ask this, but if a woman were to ask me, do I look good in this dress? Lord, maybe I foam at the mouth and fake a seizure if she doesn't. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm going to show you that I am not lying. Look at that. In fact, let's do a different view there. Look at that. That game at North Carolina is $227. That's the lowest ticket at this point. Now, if you want to get really interested, if you want to see something interesting, I mean, look at Georgia Tech. At Georgia Tech's a $219 ticket. Now, folks, I know if you go to other sites, you go to Ticketmaster, SI Tickets, StubHub, etc., you may see a different price. But I'm just saying, here you are. Here we are. We're on the ESPN site. You're looking at the schedule. You're making your plans, and you go, whoa. That ticket to North Carolina in Chapel Hill is $227. Now, I know in the grand scheme of things, there's other teams that will play this upcoming season, and the price will be outrageous. It'll be way more than that. That's not the point. My point is that a Clemson ticket, home or away, the most expensive one is not South Carolina. It's not LSU. It's not Florida State. It's not the return of SMU to Clemson, which, by the way, I'm not shocked by that at all. It's at North Carolina. That's kind of funny. Interestingly enough, that Georgia Tech game, that's kind of an eyebrow raiser. $219 to see Clemson play at Georgia Tech. That's kind of funny. It's kind of funny to me. It'll be very, very interesting. Getting here to the comments section, say hello to a few people. Got Pete in here. What's up, man? David Woody, good to see you. LSU, I would guess. Roger Parks. Roger Parks, thanks for supporting the channel on a monthly basis. I see that symbol beside your name. Thank you for being a friend. Appreciate it. B, ticket prices will drop. Of course they will. Of course they will. It's just interesting at this time, right now, B, that North Carolina is the most expensive game. Jaden Butler, Bobby versus Belichick game of the year. Yes, absolutely. I wonder how many teams have Clemson as their highest price ticket. Yeah, that's a great question. That is a great question, Roger. And I'll tell you this, it's just like when Notre Dame comes to town. As much as everybody likes to crap on Notre Dame, and I get it. You know, my dad told me, he was like, look, if you grew up during the time of 3 channels and you never saw your team on, but my goodness, you could see Ohio State, Southern Cal, and Notre Dame play football, he said, you wouldn't like it either. And you run into a lot of guys that age group. And some of you are in here, you're like, man, I got sick of that. I got sick and tired of having to watch all these other teams I could care less about. With that said, Notre Dame, when they come to town or wherever they go play at, a lot of times they drive the ticket prices through the roof. People will show up to watch Notre Dame. And to your point, I haven't looked at it, but I'll about guarantee you that Clemson is in most of these games. Most of the games I named out. Now, LSU, probably not. LSU, with some of those SEC matchups, the ticket prices are going to, it'll definitely be much higher. Of course, that would be at their stadium. If anyway, I'm not going to get into the weeds there. But my point is that I guarantee Clemson is, for the most part, the highest ticket on any of their opponents, the majority of their opponents' schedule. So it's just really interesting that at this time of the year, right now, UNC is the most expensive ticket for you to see Clemson. See Clemson play, whether it's home or away. B asked, will I be at Tiger Talon Tavern next season? You never know where I may show up. May show up at TD's, may show up at SO. Already offering to buy me drinks. Of course, you're talking about a sarsaparilla, right? Right, of course. What does LSU have this year? You know what? I don't know a lot about LSU's team right now, but I will tell you this. LSU always recruits well. So, of course, you're going to hear people in the preseason, and I say this out of respect. The people are going to be talking about, all the talking heads will be talking about LSU has recruited really well. LSU always recruits well. Right now, the biggest Achilles heel for LSU stands on their sideline, and he used to coach at Notre Dame. So that's working in Clemson's favor. That's working in a lot of people's favor. So I have respect for Brian Kelly as a coach overall, but that hire never made sense to me. And most people really don't see that making sense in Baton Rouge. They really don't, especially after this past season. Folks, tell me, what games are you going to try to make this season? Is there a game outside of Clemson that doesn't even involve Clemson that you're going to try to make it to? I would love to hear about that. Y'all take care of yourself. Pass this along to your friends and neighbors. Remember, if you like what I do, it's free to subscribe. Take care of yourself, and as always, go Tigers.